Welcome to the Bucket List Buster Travel Show. Your Bucket List Buster Travel Show helps you make your bucket list dreams come true. Host Karen Duncan spent decades running the travel business. She, along with other industry experts, share their knowledge, travel stories, and wisdom about how to travel, where to travel, and how to have a stress-free adventure. Tune in, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, create lifelong memories with families and friends, and finally learn to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And here's the host of your show, Karen Duncan.
Aloha, buenos dias, ni hao, yahate, bula, guten tag, bonjour, jumbo, boa tarde, everything's Irie, and good afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. And for the very first time, I'm doing a live recording at the same time that I am hosting the show. Trying to do something new, and we shall see how it goes. Anyway, this is a very busy week in terms of travel. Lots of information out there that's going on. I'm not sure how it all will transpire, but we're going to talk a little bit about the coronavirus today. I don't want to make that the full crust of my program, but we will touch on it today, and I will give you some views and recommendations as a travel professional and with contacts of others that are in the business and what's been said about what we need to do and what's going to be going on for the upcoming months, actually. We also have a fantastic guest, Ivan Marquez. We call him Ivan. That's how you say it in Espanol. Owner of Manglar Lodge Hotel here in Panama. And he is going to talk about not only the Manglar Lodge, which is a fantastic venue for live music. It's a very cute boutique hotel right in the heart of the beaches area here in Panama. He's going to talk about his trip to Cuba. He and his wife went to Cuba recently, a few months back, and he's got some really different opinions because he went many years ago and he recently went, and so he's going to talk about his feelings about how things have changed there in Cuba and his take on Cuba right now. We're also going to talk about best destinations of 2020 according to Fox Business. We're going to talk about one of the new excursion providers with Peaks Cruises and Tours, the company that I founded 25 years ago. And we're going to also talk about the Beaches Jazz and Blues Festival that's going on for the first time here in the Beaches area in Panama. And I hope you enjoy the show. For those of you that are listening for the very first time, I'm Karen Duncan, owner of Peaks Cruises and Tours. We've been in business 25 years, helping people plan their bucket lists, destinations, and experiences of a lifetime. I believe that travel is a way to connect the world, and everyone needs to disconnect to reconnect. So getting out there and exploring with your family and friends, your loved ones, is what I'm most passionate about. I taught travel and tourism for Austin Community College for 10 years. I've got so many destination specialization certificates. I have the highest professional designation in the travel industry. I'm a certified travel counselor through the Travel Institute, and I study and prepare in research for my clients every day still. After 25 years, I still love the art of creating an experience for people that call us and trust us with doing their travel arrangements. Yes, you can do it on your own. Go on out there and use those online travel agencies. I don't have a problem, and I will tell you that finding the cheapest airfare, especially domestically within the United States, Canada, Europe, you can find it online. But when you want to have that vacation of a lifetime where you are spending significant amounts of dollars, or even not, but it's the dollars that you can afford to spend to take the vacation of a lifetime, I want to be that person that you call. My husband and I, Mitchell and I, he runs the back office. He sends out the billings and the invoices and makes sure you have all your documents. We still love doing what we do, and we travel the world so that we can be sure that the things that we're providing for you are the places and meet your expectations, exceed your expectations in most parts. So with that, let's talk about, I'm going to take a quick break. When I get back, we're going to talk about this week's specials and move on with the show. Welcome to your Bucket List Buster. This is Karen Duncan, your host, and I shall be back in a minute. Hey guys, Karen Duncan here, your Bucket List Buster, live. And I'm talking about one of my newfound loves. Osme is the destination perfumery for all fragrance lovers in South Florida. Owner Maurice Locke says his vision is not just to sell perfumes, but to promote new thinking and great followers of niche perfumeries. So while I was visiting Florida and visiting my kids this past December, I stumbled across this beautiful, beautiful perfumery. I have a passion for wonderful things that smell fabulous, actually. I love essential oils. I love great perfumes. And I went in to talk to Maurice initially about what it takes to create your own fragrance. And he stopped and he gave me a full lesson about what that would take, and then started showing me different options for myself. So I found one that I absolutely fell in love with, and I just want to show it to you. It is my new liquid love language is what I call it, and it is Herbra Pura. So if you're looking at it on YouTube, this is what the bottle looks like. It is amazing. It's beautiful. It came in a lovely box, all wrapped up. My husband gave it to me for Valentine's. So, like I said, it's my new love language. If you have a chance, check out Maurice Osme Perfumery. He is at 786-409-4732. And he's located at 50th Northwest 24th Street, Suite 111 in Miami, Florida. Go online, look him up on Facebook, look him up on Instagram, and then stop by. If you're in Florida, stop by and find your new liquid love language is what I call it. And I think you'll be very pleased.
You're listening to your Bucket List Buster with Karen Duncan.
You bucket list busters out there, what's going on this week in travel specials? Well, I wanted to let you know that we are it is cruise season coming up. Vacations are being planned, and the summer is the time for you to do Alaska. Alaska has a very short travel season. It's between May and October, the beginning of October. The cruise ships will only go there during that time because of the weather. But we went to Alaska last year and loved it so much, we're going back. And we have a group of almost 30 people that are going to Alaska with us this year. And it's going to be fun, but there's still room for you to join us. So on our particular cruise, it's June 23rd through July 2nd on Norwegian Cruise Line. Some wonderful deals. They are offering still the free at sea, which can give you, based on your room or stateroom category, free liquor package, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, excursion credits, and we will be having fun as a group, doing little parties, meeting for happy hour. We'll do some group activities, or you don't have to be a part of the group at all. You can just decide that you want to do your own thing, but take advantage of our group pricing. So join us, Alaska, June 23rd, if you're interested. If that's not going to work for you, but you still want to do Alaska, remember that Peaks Cruises and Tours can provide you with some of the best Alaska experiences: large ships, small ships, individual excursions, private excursions, group trips for you and your family if you want to put your own group together. And with that, that's another thing I wanted to talk about in terms of this week's specials. We are getting calls right now, and we do groups. Peaks Cruises and Tours specializes in group vacations, basically. But we do individual trips as well. But we're getting calls for people that are trying to do groups in 2020. And I'm going to tell you, folks, you're getting very limited on what you can do as a group, especially if you're talking about cruising for 2020, because availability is getting very limited. I had a call for someone who wants to do a family group trip during the Thanksgiving holidays this year. And things are very limited in terms of group spacing on ships. We can do destination weddings. We are doing one in Jamaica this year for a large group. We can do girlfriend getaways, bachelorette parties, honeymoons, bachelor parties, school reunions, family reunions. You name it, we can help you put the groups together. But we're already into the 2021 planning season for groups, especially ladies and gentlemen. If you're planning on a destination wedding, then you want to make sure that you go ahead and get that information out there as soon as possible. First, you want to do a save the date for the folks that you're going to invite so that those people have an opportunity to put it on their calendar for vacation. And then second of all, we do payment plans. And being able to allow people to make payment over time is important. And starting the payments prior to the holiday season, because if you plan something and you wait until close to Thanksgiving and Christmas, people don't respond. They just will not respond. And then that gives them a shorter time period on when to actually make their payments. And then not as many people get to go. And your loved ones want to see you when you have your special moment for your wedding. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the Beaches Jazz Blues Festival here in Panama. This is going to be a great event. So John Wolfe and friends have been doing the Buquete Jazz Festival for 17 years up in the mountains in Panama. And it has been an extreme success year after year. This year, they're bringing it to the beaches area, which is where I live here in Panama. And I think the artist itinerary is off the chain. Let me just give you some of the names that'll be here. World Music and Jazz, Spyro Gyro, Tommy Emmanuel, Struts and Pharaoh, Scott Ambush and Times Align, Marshall Keys and the Soulful Path. Then we've got Blues and Roots, and I'm just naming a few guys. The Phantom Blues Band, J.P. Soares and the Red Hots, Dwayne Dopsy and the Zydeco Hellraisers, Deanna Bogart, Keisha Went Band, and the Blackburn Brothers. Then we get into rock. We've got Spin Doctors, Los Lobos from Texas. I used to hear those guys all the time when I lived in Austin. Jeremiah Johnson, the John Carney Band. He's a local guy here. That's fantastic. And then Jim Vito Band, who I've done some backup with during my the beginning of my new singing career here in Panama. So tickets are still available. Yep, they are. You can get a package, the 3-day package, where the tickets start at $208 for the 3 days, general admission. If you want to just pay for each day, it's $79.90 per day. I still have packages and rooms available for the Buenaventura, Riu Hotel, Sheraton. I can do air, some really good air. If you call me, I can help you put this package together. It includes your transfers to and from the airport. If you put in the code, if you go out and buy your tickets yourself, and you put in the code Duncan15, that lets them know that you heard about it on your Bucket List Buster podcast. Almost forgot the name of my own podcast. But Duncan15, DUNCAN 15 is the code if you want to go out and buy your own tickets. But let them know that you heard it right here on your Bucket List Buster. I'm going to take another quick break, and when I get back, we're going to talk about the top travel destinations for 2020 and see if there's something there that you'd like to do or not. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I'll see you in a minute.
If you like the sound of vacationing at a 5-star luxury included resort, Sandals has a symphony of romantic indulgences just for you. Sandals hits all the right notes for two people in love. Miles of pristine beaches harmonize with beautiful turquoise seas. Love Nest suites are orchestrated with private plunge pools and tranquility soaking tubs for two. The tempo increases with unlimited land and water sports, including scuba diving and golf. Your taste buds are treated to a rhapsody of 5-star global gourmet dining at up to 16 world-class restaurants, including endless pours of premium spirits and wine, music to anyone's ears. From live entertainment to taxes, tips, and transfers, it's all included, all unlimited, and only at Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts, voted world's best 21 years in a row.
To book your Sandals vacations, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at 512-529-3696. Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. Karen Duncan here, your host. And we're talking travel destinations for 2020. Guess what the top travel destination is, according to Fox Business, for U.S.? This is U.S. Key Largo, Florida. Yeah. Moab, Utah. Anna Maria Island, Florida. Santa Barbara, California. Brooklyn, New York is number 5. St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, St. Louis, I'm not scared of you. Go ahead. Number 6 on the list. Utah has another one at number 7, Park City, Utah. Fairbanks, Alaska is number 8. Hellsburg, California is number 9. And then Colorado Springs is number 10. So what do you think about that? Have you been to any of those places? Or would you like to go? Top list. I think that's pretty interesting. Well, let's talk about the travel news right now. This is a biggie. And after we talk about travel news this morning, we're going to have our guest speaker, Mr. Ivan Marquez. But let's talk about the news first. But before we get to the big elephant in the room, let's talk about what United Airlines did. United paid a client $90,000 in travel vouchers, not just one, but several, to get passengers to downgrade from first class. They offered 9 passengers $10,000 each after downgrading them from first class to premium plus on a flight from Newark to Honolulu. Over the weekend, the airline had to swap out its plane, and it had less first class capacity. Due to the lack of space, the airline asked for volunteers to downgrade. I would take $10,000 in travel vouchers. I sure would. You know where I could go for $10,000 in travel vouchers? And I would get my husband to do the same thing. That's 20 grand in travel vouchers. We could fly first class to our number one destination on our bucket list, or we could do a whole lot of coach flying for 10 grand each. That's a lot. I would have done it. I don't know about you. So let's go ahead and talk about this coronavirus. I have been avoiding talk about it because I don't like for my podcast to be sad. We're talking about something that's very fun and very exciting, travel, right? So I don't like to talk about stuff that's yucky. But I do like to keep you informed. And I had one client call me this week asking me, she says, I know you've been inundated with phone calls. And I go, about what? And she goes, I said, I know you're not calling me about the coronavirus. And she said, yes, I am. Well, I haven't gotten any calls. She was my first call. But I've been trying to post on Facebook about things that I get through my professional publications in the travel industry regarding the coronavirus. And I'm not a doctor. She's an ex-retired nurse, my customer that I'm talking about. But let me just say this. Everything that I have read, and this is my personal opinion, everything that I have read states that this is going to be our new flu. And the influenza, has killed thousands more people than the coronavirus. As of to date, there's been 300 or so deaths over in Asia. And there have been tens of thousands of people that have become ill that have not died. So let's put things in perspective, because the flu is killing people every day. Children, old people, middle-aged people, healthy people, people are dying from the flu, as well as other diseases and illnesses. So let's put it in perspective and not get caught up in the sensationalism of mainstream media. So here's advice pertinent no matter which cruise line or vacation type. Pack 14 days of extra medication. And this came from the experience that the cruise ships saw when the Princess Cruise got quarantined off of Japan. These are the things that they've learned that we need to do to be prepared when we go on vacation. Pack 14 days of extra medication in the event of unexpected travel delays or emergencies. Makes a lot of sense. Also, you should bring a list of the names, strength, dosages, and all medications in case refills are required. Provide emergency contact information. You can get a cruise personalizer or put it someplace. When your cruise line asks you for this, this is why they're requiring it, in case there's an emergency. If you're using a travel agency, give that emergency contact information to your travel agent, because there are times you may be able to get us, but you can't call everybody that you need to, and then we can contact the ones that you need to, that you want us to contact. Mobile phone instructions. Your client should enable an international travel plan inclusive of voice and data. Cell phones will not work the same in all countries without an international plan, and Wi-Fi is not as available in many countries. An international plan will enable your clients to stay connected at a reasonable rate and ensure that they can be connected. Also, our friends over at the Wireless Traveler, we do lots of work with them, and they've been telling us for years that you should have your own mobile hotspot, and you should. And that is this time more than any other time, you should invest in a mobile hotspot through the Wireless Traveler, so that you have unlimited Wi-Fi and you can be paying for that plan unlimited as you go along, especially if you get caught in some areas that you don't want to use the public Wi-Fi. I would not recommend public Wi-Fi everywhere. Purchase travel protection. Always a good idea. Strongly recommended. I am certified to sell policies For my expat friends as well as my friends over the United States, anybody that's traveling should use travel protection, should carry it, and these are reasons why. Travel protection helps you for delays. It helps you for loss of luggage. You should get canceled for any reason coverage in case you want to cancel prior to going on a trip because of something that's going on there, civil unrest, an illness, something like that. Travel protection is good. Now, travel protection may not always cover you for some of these items, but at least you could get another hotel room if you needed to. I mean, there's just so many things, so many reasons why you should carry it. Practice healthy travel habits. According to the World Health Organization, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, simplest, most effective way to prevent illness is to take extra care and practice basic health habits, including washing your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds, taking advantage of hand sanitizers, covering your nose and mouth when coughing or sneezing, using a tissue or your bent elbow. Not the hands, people, not the hands. That's this, and then you're touching everybody and everything. That's gross. And always dispose of a used tissue and wash your hands afterwards, avoiding touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with your hands, avoiding close contact with sick people. Be aware of the latest health advisories. You can always go to the State Department, and Canada has one, UK has one, United States. Look and find out what is being said about destinations that you're traveling to. CoronoVirus. Which cruise ports are closed? So let's just take a quick talk about that. Ports currently closed to cruise ship: Hong Kong, South Korea, Malaysia, Taiwan, Tonga, New Caledonia. Ports denying select visitors: the Bahamas, no entry for anyone with prior 20-day mainland travel regardless of nationality. Indonesia, no entry permitted to China passport holders. India, no arrival visas for China passport holders. Israel, visitors from China, Hong Kong, Italy, Japan, South Korea, blah, blah, blah. Jamaica, all persons who have visited Italy, South Korea, Iran, Singapore in the last 14 days and who do not have permanent residency or marriage exemption in Jamaica will not be granted landing privileges in the country's port of entry. Japan, no entry permitted to China passports. Malaysia, no entry permitted for people with China passports issued in Hubei, Shanghai, or I can't pronounce this other one. Philippines, according to Norwegian's website, the Philippines is not currently allowing Chinese nationals to disembark. Sri Lanka, China passport. Singapore, China passport holders. Vietnam, China passport holders. So ports turning away cruise ships: British Virgin Islands denied the Costa Fabulosa on February 26 after consultation with medical authorities on the island that some people had flown in from Italy. Cayman Islands, MSC was barred from entering the Cayman Islands. Dominican Republic refused entry, a cruise ship, because a small number of influenza-like cases were on board. So it's not just corona, but, folks, be in contact. This is the time especially, and I know people don't always want to use travel agents, but this is really a good time to have people in your corner so that you can find out the real details about what's going on. And second, I have a daughter that works on the airlines, and she says people are getting on the planes and they're wiping off their trays. But if you really want to do it, you got to not just wipe the tray itself. Wipe the back of the seat where the tray goes into, because every time you put it up, those germs are there. You're just putting up the germs back in that area, so then if there's some still there, then they're going to get on the tray all over again. Wipe the back of the seat, wipe the tray underneath, on top, sides, your armrest. And you don't even think about this, but your seat belt. Everybody uses the seat belt. Wipe the seat belt. use a wipe to even touch it, wipe it, and then put it on. That's how you protect yourself. If you're really paranoid about getting it, then that's what you need. Then that's what you need to do. And with that, I'm done talking about coronavirus until we find out something else that we need to know. But just know that it's going to get worse in the United States. Yes, United States. You're talking about not traveling to the rest of the world. Well, guess what? People aren't going to be coming to the United States for the same reason, because it's going to spread within the United States, so we've been told. We've only had one case here in Panama as far as I know, but just protect yourself. That's all I have to say. I'm going to take another quick break, and when we get back, I'll have Ivan Marquez, owner of Manglar Lodge Restaurante and live music venue right here in El Palmar, Panama. This is Karen Duncan, your bucket list buster. I'll be back.
Why stay local when you can go global?
It's gonna be free right about now.
With Norwegian Cruise Line, you can shift out of traffic and into vacation mode. Before you know it, you'll be free at sea. What is free at sea? It's your choice of up to 5 free offers, like free unlimited open bar, free shore excursions, and more. So sail to the Caribbean, Alaska, or Hawaii and vacay your way. Only on Norwegian.
To book your Norwegian cruise, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at 512-529-3696 today. Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. This is Karen Duncan, your host, and I have with me today is Ivan Marquez, who is the owner and operator of Manglar Lodge here in Panama, one of my favorite places. What's going on, Ivan?
Everything good over here. Kind of like enjoying a sunny, windy day over here.
I know, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. Finally, dry season is here, so it's like nice blue skies and sunny afternoons all day, which is nice.
We're gonna make a lot of people jealous that are in the United States and having to deal with snow and cold and all of that. Thanks for coming on the show today. I know you're a super busy man because you've got a lot of things going on. So let's talk about a little bit about who you are and your background. Tell us where you're from, what your businesses are about, and all of that.
I was born in Honduras, but I never actually tell people I was born in Honduras because I was just basically born over there. Moved to Panama when I was like that's like a secret.
I didn't know that.
The only thing I got from Honduras is like a stupid passport that is not worth shit.
Oh.
So it doesn't help. No. I mean, when I look at I go into like some places with that passport, they're like, okay, this guy is gonna be like an illegal immigrant or something. Huh? He's gonna move in over here. So that's the only thing I got from that country is that passport. And I was like actually aware by the ambassador of Panama that he was not going to renew my passport because I haven't been to that place forever. Because I went to like renew the passport, and the guy told me, when was the last time you were in Panama, like in Honduras? When I was like 2 years old. Why? Because I don't want to go over there. I don't have nothing to do over there. Like, okay, but if you like, I need like original birth certificate. Like, how do I? No, I need your original, like, kind of like a cedula, like the ID from here.
Right.
And I was like, I have it. I've never been over there. Well, you should get one. How do I get to travel? Like, I'm not spending money going over there. Well, if you don't bring me one, I'm not going to renew any more passport to you. And I was like, okay, so this is going to be my last passport.
Oh my God. So that was your last passport already for Honduras. So now you have a Panamanian passport.
For like
hello?
Process. Like a legal process. I mean, like a legal paperwork, and because I got the Panamanian cedula, but I just have actually it's like a money issue. And I think I can spend those $2,000 in something like. I mean, like it's just like
breaking up a little bit. You're kind of going in and out as you're talking.
Okay, let me move to this place. Is this better?
There you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you say it's a money thing for them?
Yeah, it's a money thing.
Not you.
Spend like $2,000 of some. Yeah, for me, I have to spend like $2,000 on paperwork, and I always said like, damn, $2,000. I can go like travel with those $2,000 someplace like fun, not get like passport. Huh? It's more like that. It's like, damn, $2,000 just passport, huh?
I know. That's and so you've been in Panama since you were 2 years old.
Yep, 2 years old.
Wow. Wow. That's I know I love Panama. Are you is your wife Panamanian? She's not Panamanian.
No, Mafe from she was born in Venezuela, but she was her mother is from Panama, so she's like a
Okay.
Panamanian cedula, Panamanian passport. I mean, she only lived over here for like 15 years, but she got all the paperwork, and I've been living over here for like 48, 46 or something. And shit, she's more Panamanian than me. This sucks.
You're not that old.
I'm 47.
Wow. I would have never guessed. You guys look so young. That's
Yeah,
great.
well,
So let's talk about your background. You've not
uh-huh.
always owned a restaurant and hotel, right?
No, I'm not always. No.
So
I
what were
used to
you
have
doing
before
prior?
that. I used to have a surfing and skate shop before this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for like 15 years or something.
I'm learning all kinds of new things about you today. I had no
Yeah, I used to
idea.
have like that from 80, no, from 96 all the way to like 2010 was the last year I run the shop. And then we
Hmm.
moved over here, basically opened this business.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about Manglar.
We opened it like in 2000. My family owned property over here since
Mm-hmm.
the 80s, basically. Since the 82 or 84, my family bought property over here. So we've been in Palmar for like a long time. And during like early 2000, before that, the whole real estate exploded over here. My mother
Mm-hmm.
bought the land, but my business is right now.
Okay.
And so then like I was like I don't know, when you do something for like a long time, in the case of the surfing and skate shop, I was getting kind of tired, and it was like the real like retail business in Panama was like hard because like everything was focused on the malls, and like I mean it was
Mhm.
like, and the malls have like too much control over you. They were like raising the rent every freaking year, and I was like, damn,
Right.
I'm working for the freaking rent over here.
Right.
And my mother told like, hey, got this land. Do you want to do something over here? And I'm like, oh, sure. And then we kind of like move over here and start this business over here.
So was the hotel already on the property
No,
or
no,
did you guys build
no.
it?
I built everything over here. There was nothing over here.
Nice. So how many rooms do you have there?
Only four, and the
Oh, okay.
restaurant downstairs. Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Hmm.
four. So because I noticed that you guys are on Vacation Access, which is the wholesaler that I go through to sell hotels,
Uh-huh.
and Mangler is listed as one of the hotels in Panama. So that's really cool.
Yeah. We've been like we basically on every platform. I mean like the Expedia platform, the Booking.com
Mhm.
platform, the Airbnb platform, like I pretty much like link everywhere. Yeah. I
Nice,
mean like
very nice.
uh-huh. Mhm.
Cool. So, and then, so do you say most of your business is hotel business or is it restaurant business?
I'll say like 50-50, kind of like 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same.
Cool.
Usually. Yeah, there's a couple months that are going to be one more than the other, but usually almost at the end of the year, it's kind of like 50-50.
And who are your regular customers? What would you say? Is there a type of customer that comes to your hotel?
I would say like this, like it used to be like Americans and Canadians for like a long time, but if you tell me like what's going to be like the nation, like the country that's bringing, we got more guests lately, is Germany.
Really? Germany?
Yeah, Germany from the this year so far, Germany. And like I mean, if we call like this from December to here will be like more German people than any other country. And last year was the same thing. It was like a
That's
during the
amazing.
dry season, a lot of German people. Then kind of slow down, but then still once again this year has been Germans again. I mean, we've been having like a German guest like every single day so far this year, or more than one.
And why do you think that's so? Is it because they're
Ah,
looking for authentic Panamanian type?
I don't
hotel?
know.
Because you guys are you're very Panamanian, which is nice. When people are looking for something very authentic, I think your
I
hotel is
think that'll be
absolutely
like some of them when like they don't. I mean, some of the German people that come over here, they're not looking for the traditional hotel, kind of like with
hmm
like with like. I mean, when you go, and that's one of the reasons like how we operate this place is more like what I really like when I travel. I don't like to just go to like fancy places where you got like this lobby and you ask the guy like, "Hey, where I can get like a beer?" Like,
hmm
and the guy doesn't even live on the area, so he cannot even tell you like a real answer because he's
Right,
not even in the area. I mean, he's not doesn't know nothing. I mean,
right.
like I was at this hotel not far from here. It was one of those big all-inclusive visiting a
Yep.
friend, and we
hmm
got kicked out from the lobby because it says like after 10 o'clock we cannot have like visitors on the area because they told them we're gonna sneak into the hotel or something and eat for free. It was like no, we're just chatting with them. Like okay, uh, tell me a place where you can go and have like something to drink. Like oh, he sent me to this place. Hey, that place closed at 9 o'clock. It's closed right
Oh,
now. Oh, what other place you can send me? Like, and he's like, they didn't even know nothing. Like, none of the person at the lobby, there was like five of them, knew where to
right.
send us. Like, what? You guys work over
That's so
here.
sad.
And then like, oh, I know this place. And then we went to this place called, it used to be like a long time ago, it was called Woody's. Now it's called like Nikos, which is in
Uh-huh.
Young.
Yeah.
And we went to that place and it was like open until past midnight that night, actually. And but like none of the other person, like the person at that place knew that place like could refer me like, oh, let's go to this place. It's kind of like
hmm
when I stay over here, like they ask me, hey, what we can do? Like, oh, this place is open. And we always give ideas to people where they can go and stuff like that. And I think that's why they come over here because they know like at smaller places usually you get like more personal treatment that on a
Right.
big place like it's like, oh, whatever who is on the lobby is gonna tell you nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And you have such a cool restaurant and bar because you have games down there that people can sit in your area and play games and they can have craft beers and the food is amazing. So,
Thank you.
we really enjoyed the atmosphere there. And then to top it off, you have live music, I must say. The music is
Yeah, yeah,
fabulous. One of the
yeah.
singers. I get
Yeah, we got pretty good artists. We have some amazing artists.
Yes, you do. I think that's really becoming a big deal. The music that you guys are having
Yeah.
over there. Yeah. So let's talk about you recently. So I know you went to Cuba recently,
Yep.
but can you tell us a few other places in the world that you may have traveled to?
Uh, yeah, America or like outside America.
Anywhere.
Uh,
Anywhere.
US a lot. I used to go to
hmm
California every year for like since I used to have the surfing and skate shop. Like California was
Oh,
like a
okay.
man for me like every year. So I went over there to
hmm
California for like twice a year for like 15 years. Every year it was like January, February. But usually every time I go to California, I take like some time off. So I pretty much
Right.
know the all the coast from California, from Tijuana all the way to like all the way to the end to Oregon. I've been like the whole coast. I drove it a couple times, and I also been like did like a road trip from like San Jose, California, all the way to Seattle, and we did the coast also. So we knew I knew part of the Oregon coast. So the west coast of the U.S. has always been my
hmm
favorite, and I've pretty much been all around. And besides a couple places in Costa Rica, uh, Chile, Argentina. I've been to the Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego, Fireland. So that's like
mm
the Ushuaia. It's the southest point in the Americas. So I've been over there also. And Ecuador, Colombia, what else? Cuba a couple times. Iceland, which is one of my favorite places. Uh,
Nice. So
Norway.
you need to come go to Alaska with us in June.
Yeah, yeah, possibly. Possibly. We need money.
I know, right? It's always that picky thing called money that we have to have so we can go do the
Yeah,
things we want to
yeah.
do. So let's talk about this trip that you had to Cuba. What were you doing over there?
We want to take like a short break from the working for a while. Our
Mhm.
initial plans was going to go to the Faroe Island, but money was like a real issue this year. Like the economy of Panama wasn't the greatest, and tourists kind of dropped. So it was like,
Right.
oh, we cannot spend this much money on the whole thing. And we says like, oh, I got a bunch of miles from Copa, so I'm just gonna buy the tickets of miles from someplace else. So I was in Cuba like 11 years ago, I think so. Since I do
Mhm.
photos, I went with like a music, like a friend that was gonna play a series of concerts over there. So I was like part of the crew, and I did like I spent like maybe like 15 days that time in Cuba shooting photos for the all the presentations. So I got like, oh, let's go to Cuba. I was over there, and like it was nice. So we
Right.
decided to go again. And I mean, it's nice to see how it was and how it is right now, because there was like a major change in the whole, not only on the city, it was change on the people. That would be like the bigger change, was not structural.
Right.
It was like the attitude of people right now comparing to like 11 years ago. That was like a huge difference.
How was
So
it
that's
different?
what I mean. 11 years ago, tourists wasn't like booming over there. So people
Right.
were kind of real. People would talk to you without
Mm.
any interest. They would just talk to you because they want to hear stories of people from another country, or they want to like give it their thoughts or something. But now when they see a tourist, they just see like a dollar bill. I mean, like
Right.
if they walk with you and like, oh, hey, I know this bar and we should like it's great, blah blah blah. They will create like some kind of story. Like some of them were fake even. And the only
Oh.
reason they want you to walk to that bar is because like once you get over there, they like whatever you spend, they're gonna get a cut. They get like a commission for bringing customers, and they get like they want you to buy drinks from them, and like and they're gonna start talking with you or whatever. But they will get like a benefit. They will get some money out of it, and
Right.
then maybe you're gonna give it a tip or something at the end, which is gonna be they're gonna make some money also from the tip you make them for like bringing you someplace. And that's like
Hmm.
the I mean, you couldn't walk without getting like ambushed by people like, oh, let's go this. And then people would say hi to you. And I'm a photographer, so I was like doing photos. So I always got like a camera on my hand. And it was like I was getting people, and like sometimes people were like, hey, why don't you take us a photo? And then like I was like, usually I don't like to take photos of people who ask me, because they usually when they model the photo is fake. I'm not gonna do nothing with that photo.
Right.
So it's like, no, but I don't want to be rude. Like, no, not really. And I was like, yeah. And I do snap a couple of photos from people. And then when I did, the guy like, oh, they were asking me for money. And I was like, damn, I
Oh.
don't even get oil. And the thing was funny is they got this code word. I mean, they didn't ask you for money. They were asking you for a piece of candy. And I was like, no, I don't have candy with me. I don't even have sugar with me. Like, shit, I got candy in my camera bag. Shit, it will be full of ants, and the whole thing is gonna be melted. That was gonna be a disaster. And like I like, no, no candy, no sugar over here. I was like, no, no. And then the guy, since I was saying no, 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 and it was in Spanish the whole conversation. Then the guy he asked me for a CUC. They call it cook, which is like equivalent of almost a dollar, like a dollar. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
no, I actually only got like a 20 bill with me. I was like, no, I don't have one right now. You don't have like $1? Well, that's like one cook. And I was like, no. And the guy got kind of mad because I didn't give any money. I was like, I'm not gonna give you money for that stupid photo. Like, I mean, it wasn't even good. Huh?
You
Delete it.
asked me to take a
Yeah,
picture.
I will delete it before giving you a dollar. I mean, if you actually was something great, it will be like, oh, maybe, or you were nice with me, or we gave it something. But like, damn, you asked me to take a photo and then you want like a dollar? I was like, no way. And people like, if you walk on a straight line, people were trying to push you like, go to this restaurant, go to this, go to that, or trying to sell you something. And it gets to a point like, damn, I don't
Right.
know, it's just like it's too much. At the same time,
Yeah,
you will walk in and
there are places in the Caribbean that are like that get a lot of tourism, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
you
that's why
you find
I don't places.
yeah, you find
That's
out
why,
that they try to tell you a place to go, and it's because they're going to get a kickback
yeah,
from
yeah,
being
yeah,
able to.
yep. That was basically what was like a lot, and that didn't happen years ago. None of that was like, oh, cool, that was fine. We got some fun, and I was like, damn. And the other issue within like The last time I was over there, since I was like on a concert thing, I was like, I
Hmm.
have like a cultural visa, so the government was like put us like an hotel, and they would give us food, and they were trying to do the best they can to give us the best food they have over there, and the food was okay that time. But now that I was by myself, I mean, like we were eating like on the whatever we want. I mean, food
Right.
is like is bad in Cuba. I mean, we got like a food poison over there. We got sick for like 2 days, 2 days that we couldn't barely go out like outside, and every time that we go and eat, like food wasn't. I mean, last time I was over there, they used like some kind of condiment, like spice on the food that tastes like a
Mhm.
certain way. That wasn't like. Not only me was not feeling well, it was all of us, which was like seven of us or five, seven of us that was on the trip. None of us like, none of us got sick, but we were not like 100% either. We were like,
Right. Right.
oh, we feel kind of weird every morning, and it was something with the food. But this time we actually went like bad. I mean, we ate because we were eating too much. We were me and Mafe were eating a lot of street food. I mean, I like eating on the street wherever I go because that's kind
I
of
do
real food.
too. Yeah.
But this time one of those was like didn't sit well on us, and we were bad. Mafe was worse than me. I mean, I was okay, but she was like, damn, not feeling well for days.
Oh, that's so
Mm.
sad. That's so sad. And I feel bad for the Cuban people because I feel in a way that their games have been played with them. You know, I can understand their desperation to a certain extent because they thought that they
Yeah,
were now going to get the American dollar and it had started and some people were doing better and then it got snatched
yeah,
out from under them again.
but they're doing good. I mean, like they are doing good. Like, I mean, I've never seen like if I compare like the amount of tourists they get over there and then compare it to Panama on a single day,
Oh
for
yeah.
example, we don't even get like 2% of the tourists they
Yeah.
receive every day at Havana. We don't even get packed with people. I mean, people from
Right.
Europe, the people from the States that still make it because we met like a big group from the people from the States over there. And but
Hmm.
a lot of weekends, and it's packed with people. I mean, packed, crazy. I mean, there was a pedestrian street, and you couldn't walk on a straight line. You have to avoid people walking. It feels like you are on a mall in the States on a Black Friday.
Oh wow.
That's
So
kind
were
of
you in
feels.
Havana? Were you in Havana?
Yeah, we spent all the time in Havana. The plan was like we
Okay.
rent a motorcycle, and the plan was gonna go like one day was gonna be go. We were going to a small town that was like a half hour, 45 minutes from the on the like east, and the other day was gonna be like 45 minutes west. But like those days we were sick, so we finished not driving anywhere. Just like we stay
Right.
in Havana all days, and then we actually
Right.
cut the trip a little bit short because like we were just tired. We didn't feel well, and I was like, hey, you know what? Just gonna go back to Panama. I'm done with this thing.
So where did you
I'm
stay?
done
Or
with it.
did you stay in
We
an
went,
Airbnb?
yeah, we went an Airbnb, like an apartment,
Hmm.
which in
Nice.
general, I mean, when you look at Airbnb, most of the places, they look nice. I mean, they look fine, they look nice, but I mean, inside of the apartments,
Yeah.
most of them are nice, but the buildings where they are is shared with the people from the rest of the Cuban people. And they
Right.
just like, I don't know, Cuban people, it's just like the culture that, I mean, they throw trash everywhere. I mean,
Hmm.
if you walk on the street, if you think people in Panama throw trash on the street, you haven't
And
met the
they do.
Cubans. And you haven't seen the Cubans yet. Those guys dump stuff. I mean, even if they have from the balcony, they throw like little garbage back to the street.
Oh no.
For because I saw this basketball court and it was kind of like I mean, old dirty. And then I snapped a couple photos, and then I realized like only in the middle of the basketball court was like not that many trash, and then on the sides of the basketball court it was full with trash. And then I realized there was like every side that has like a building that was at least 4 floors, and that was trash,
Mm.
little bags with trash that people from the apartment just dump it and they throw it to the basketball court, and
Wow.
completely the whole thing this is a freaking basketball court. You shouldn't be like throwing trash from your window. And
Yeah.
it was pretty common. And the other thing that was like, people pee every freaking street and every corner. You walk in, and then it smelled like a freaking cantina, the corner. I mean, it was like disgusting the amount of pee you can feel in some areas. And there was just like, oh, we want to pee. I mean, everybody pee on that corner. And then when you walk in that area, it smelled like a freaking bathroom for the shittiest cantina you ever been in your life, huh?
So were you staying in a touristy place or was it more residential local?
It was like it was a mix actually, because we were staying like right in front of the Malecon, which is like the main street that goes in front of the ocean.
Mhm.
But like there were like a lot of Airbnbs on all those places around, and it was like a nice area. We were like a couple minutes from the Old Havana, and the U.S. Embassy was just like maybe like 700 meters from where I was staying.
Okay.
Like so they used to be like on the left, yeah, on the left. So yeah, it was like, I mean, it was not like we were like in the middle of like some kind of weird spot. It was like, we were by the ocean, but like people over there just have this bad manners in the sense like, why did everyone has to pee on the freaking street in the corner? And
That's
it's
just
like it gets and I mean, like somebody should like at least like wash that thing at one point, or like put like bleach or something like to like
right.
try to cool it down or something, but no one. And then the places just stink like
Think.
pee. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
there
That
was like a
sounds
little
bad.
tunnel in Malecon. To cross a boy crossing the street, there was a tunnel. In that tunnel, I mean, it was just like it was a 4-lane street, so you walk under, like by that
Mhm.
tunnel. The wind was blowing from the ocean to the city, and the smell of pee that was coming from that tunnel was offensive.
Oh,
I mean, you can be like 50 or 100 meters from the tunnel, and you still smell the
could
pee
smell
coming
it.
from that. Huh?
That's so sad. That's just so sad. That's to me, that's just sad. I
And
don't.
I mean, there's areas on the Old Havana that are like pretty nice. It's kind of like when you go Casco
Mm.
Viejo in Panama. In some areas are pretty nice, but then you walk a couple like to Santana, and Santana is kind of like a
Right.
sketchy place. Well, it will be kind of like that. Some of the areas of Old Havana that are like really nice, but then you walk like 2 blocks, and the other one is like smell like pee, and everything is like dirty and all that stuff. And I don't know, it's weird. That's
How
whole. I
many
mean,
days were you there?
what?
How many days were you there?
We were like a week exactly, because we
Okay.
arrived on a Tuesday and we left on a Tuesday. The idea was going to be like 10 days, because I
Right.
usually like to travel like 10 days. Because when you travel, like one day, usually you spend like on the airports and doing
Traveling.
nothing. And then the
Hmm.
last day, you spend the same thing. So if you travel like one week, just only 5 days on the country.
Exactly.
Usually,
Hmm.
I usually just spend like 10 days. That's what I always try to do, 10 days
So,
minimum.
what was there anything positive that happened? Was there anything that stood out to you that was really good this time?
Uh, well, they got some really musicians over there. We went to a jazz club, and the
Mm.
guys were amazing. And we were like, they got music over there going, and that will be like, where we're staying, there were like a lot of like music clubs, but we only went to the jazz club. That was the one where we went, and it was nice. And I mean, they've been doing like a great job, doing all the rebuilding the Casca de Olavana. I
Right.
mean, really nice right now. The Capitolio, which is like the government building, it looks beautiful right now. And all like the reclaiming all the area is beautiful right now. And that will be like the positive comparing to where like 11 years ago. But it also has like a price. I mean, like people who live in that area, they've been moving them to different areas. So, I
Hmm.
mean, so it's kind of like, yeah, those areas used to be people, and now it's like just like touristic buildings and businesses and stuff. So like that's how still would that would be the downside. But I would say like, yeah, I mean, they're preserving a lot of history and the culture of the place, and they do a good job selling it. I mean, everything, most of the buildings are nice and all that stuff. That'll be like the positive side.
Hmm. Yeah, Cuba has been on my list. And
You
I
can
wanted
erase it.
I want to see it though. You know, I wanted to see it before it got too touristy. You know, when it was still a little authentic.
It is true. You're too late now. You're
On
late.
now.
You're a
Ugh,
decade late,
a
like 10
decade.
years late.
Oh my God.
Because like
Well,
when I was like 11 years ago, there was like a little bit of tourists, there was a little bit of everything, but it was real. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I even I was looking at my old photos and then I realized, damn, I was in this area, but it looks so different now. That was 11 years ago. 11 years ago, there was some street that now, like pedestrian street, that was like really packed with people. But back 11 years ago, there were cars over there. And I was like, damn, hey, this is the same place I went to. And I was like,
Right.
but I couldn't, same, like there were no cars this time. I was like, oh, it looks so different now. So
Wow.
yeah, it changed too much right now. Too much.
So
I
I take it
mean,
that I take it you won't be going back to Cuba for vacation.
no, not. No,
Not.
unless somebody hired me to do the photos, and I will be like, because it's a paying gig, I will go.
Mm-hmm.
If
So
paid by my
what's on your bucket list? What's a place that you haven't been that you would like to go to?
uh, still the Faroe Islands, still like number one, and we want to
Hmm.
go to the north side of Scotland, which is actually facing the Faroe Islands.
Okay.
Both places where had like Faroe Islands was like they're actually part of Denmark, but like they're in the middle of like more close to they're just like a 200 kilometers from Iceland, south of
Okay.
Iceland, and a couple like 100 and maybe like 200 kilometers also from like the Scotland, for the north side of Scotland. So they're like the
Right.
middle. It's like a small country. Only like 50,000 people live over there,
Yeah.
and there's like
Yeah.
100 and something thousand sheep over there.
Yes, I've seen that on some documentaries actually, and it looks like
Yeah.
it would be beautiful. I like those. I like small destinations and areas like that as well.
Hmm.
And until I moved to Panama, though I did not want to go any place that it was going to be cold because, you know, I was born and raised in Chicago, so going someplace
Yep.
cold was not my idea of going on vacation. But now that I live here in Panama and I get warm 365,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel okay about going to a place
Yeah.
that's a little cooler. You know, it's not a big
But
deal
the
anymore.
difference between like you guys in Chicago, your lowest temperature is way lower than Iceland, the Faroe Island, or Scotland,
Mhm.
or even Norway, like the north side of Norway, because they
Right.
have the Gulf Stream current, and that just
Right.
bring like the water is warmer than like on Canada on the same spot,
Hmm.
way
Hmm.
warmer. The whatever you can get like the record minus temperature in Iceland is like minus 17. And you guys
Right.
in Chicago get minus 40 or something like that on
Yeah.
that day, like
And
on
it's terrible.
that.
And with the winds and stuff, it's just terrible. It's
So like,
terrible.
how people when think of Iceland, it is like that's like the freaking North Pole. And actually, even
It's
those
not.
in Norway, they get like minus 10. That's like on a bad storm. That's like it's not like, I mean, it's bad, but it's not like Alaska that you throw like a glass of
Yeah.
water and then you like to the sky and then like, oops, you got like ice on on the floor. Huh?
That's funny.
It
Yeah,
doesn't get
I
like,
can appreciate that. That's so good. So what are your hopes and plans for Manglar? What do you're doing some fantastic music over there right now. Is that how you see yourself positioned in this part of Panama
yeah,
as being that place where you can go hear some really great music and eat some good
yeah,
food and drink
yeah,
craft
yeah.
beers?
That's the idea. That's the idea to do like we don't want to get like huge crowds. We just want to get like a crowd that people enjoy while they're coming over here
Mm-hmm.
and they have a good time. I mean, like in general, but yeah, we just trying to work on the every like all the presentation this year could be like special, not like a. I always want people to come and see the music. They just like I hate when you go to a place and they have an artist on a corner and it looks like why you just put like a playlist from Spotify instead
Right.
of having an artist over here. And we
Yeah.
like, I mean, this is a show. It's not like like you put like a playlist over here or put like a DJ on a corner. It's like no,
Mm-hmm.
we want like people to come and see the artist and enjoy the music. And one of the things I'm trying to do with the next presentation, you're going to be on it, is I want to start doing recording videos of some of the presentation, like the best ones from the year,
Right.
and try to do like a YouTube channel with like all the artists that are playing over here, and do like a highlight with all the stuff after a while.
That's nice.
So you're like you're gonna be on the first one over here.
No
That one.
pressure whatsoever. No pressure.
Yeah, I'm putting the crew for that one. I already told Emmanuel was over here like just this morning. Hey, Emmanuel, I'm filming that thing, so you better dress up nice. That.
Oh my God, I gotta remember to hold my stomach in now, and so that I don't have a poochy belly and stuff. It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate. I really appreciate.
And
how can
Volker,
go ahead.
Since Volker do a great job with doing the recording the audio, so I already got the audio, which is gonna be good. So I just gotta do the edit for the video. So I'm getting like at least like 2 person that is gonna move around with cameras, and we're gonna put like a couple of tripods and stuff. So we're gonna get like 4 cameras filming that day at least. That's the idea.
Nice. Well, nice. So I can tell my audience that they'll be able to see me on YouTube doing one of my bucket list checks is to be able to sing for people. That's really cool. And so how can people get in touch with you at Manglar Lodge if they're interested in coming and staying at the hotel? Do you have a website?
They can visit our website. Yeah, manglarlodge.com. Instagram and Facebook, they can find us like as Manglar Lodge. And my personal website, if they want to see my photos and stuff, is Marquez-Ivan.com. And Instagram is Marquez-Ivan also.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us today. This has been real, and I love hearing your perspective on Cuba, because you always get people that they give you this flowery description of places that they've gone for vacation, and it doesn't always work out that way.
There's 2 versions of Cuba, and I call number 1 is the real Cuba, which is the one that we went to, and then it's the Disney Cuba. Disney Cuba is that you stay in a fancy hotel, you go on a tour, and they just like you're gonna follow whatever they want to see, you to see, but you're gonna eat the places they want you to eat, and you're not gonna discover nothing. And then you're gonna have maybe like a nicer experience, but you're not seeing the real thing. You're kind of on a fantasy.
Exactly.
That's why I call it like Disney.
That's so true.
You're going to see on the tour bus, they're going to take you to point 1 to point B. You're going to eat at this place, but that's it. I mean, it's not real.
Right.
It's not real.
Right. We want the authentic. Well, this has been good. This is Karen Duncan, your bucket list buster, and I'm going to take a quick break, and that we want to thank Mr. Ivan Marquez for coming on our show today. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Your Bucket List Buster is sponsored by Peaks Cruises and Tours. PeaksCruisesTours.com.
Well, guys, this is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster, and that's all we have time for this week. I've got some great shows coming up. I promise I do. We're going to get on a more regular schedule coming up. It's just been so hectic over at Peaks Cruises and Tours. Plus, I'll be singing this Friday, May the 6th at Manglar Lodge, Volker Hofschildt and my acoustic guitar player, who's phenomenal. He and I are going to do some new stuff, dance, disco tunes. So if you're in the area, come by, listen to it. It's going to be fun. Put on your best 70s outfit and let's go rock the house with some Donna Summers and Diana Ross and Chic and those guys. It's going to be fun. So I hope to see you over there.